Thanksgiving 2025 didn't involve traffic, crowded grocery stores, or hours in the kitchen. Instead, it began under blue skies at the port of Miami, standing in front of one of the most spectacular cruise ships ever built, Celebrity Beyond, for 7 nights from November 23rd to November 30th, 2025. We traded tradition to turquoise water, luxury design, and a Thanksgiving dinner at sea. Hello everyone, my name is Guy and this is our family's complete Celebrity Beyond experience. We're going to look at the ship, the itinerary, the food, and the tips you absolutely need. So if you've already booked on Celebrity Beyond or considering booking, watch this until the end. Before we even arrived in Miami, one decision completely transformed this cruise. The most important thing that people don't realize how important it is when check-in opens. For Celebrity Cruises, it opens 45 days before sailing. This is when you complete all your travel documents and you set up your onboard account and you put in your credit card and you do all those most important things. But the most critical thing is when you do and how you select your boarding time. Here's the crucial part. The actual check-in opens on midnight on the time zone on where the ship sails. So if the ship sails from the eastern side of the US, it opens at midnight on Eastern Standard Time. If it opens in Central, then it is midnight on Central Time. So at 12:01 Eastern Time, we did our check-in, which was actually at 11 p.m. Central, because we're based in Houston. So at 12 o'clock, we checked in and we secured our boarding time slot, which was check-in number 1. And that single move changed everything. Boarding already meant one more thing, just getting on the boat super early, relaxing and being wowed. It meant lunch instead of waiting. It meant exploring the ship while it was calm and uncrowded. Most importantly, it made day 1 feel like a real vacation day, not a traveling day. So tip, set an alarm, be logged in early. Boarding early is one of the biggest quality of life upgrades you could give yourself on the Celebrity Beyond. The port of Miami sets the tone immediately. Palm trees, cruise horns, skyline views. There's an energy here that makes the vacation feel real before you even step on board. It is beyond magnificent, beyond beautiful, beyond incredible. Thanks to that early check-in time slot, we thought that embarkation would be effortless. We left our hotel at 9:30 a.m. thinking this would be plenty of time to go from ship and to be on board by 11 o'clock. Everything was set. Flipping hour. We never realized, never thought, never even put into consideration 30,000 people on piles of boats needing to have vehicles. Surprise, surprise, right? So anyway, once we got through security, we got to the waiting area at 11 o'clock. We thought it's now 11 o'clock, let's get on the boat, all done. And yet it still took us more than 45 minutes to get onto the ramp. So before getting onto the boat, we had our plan. Once on board, get onto the muster station, drop our things off in the room. What's awesome about Celebrity Beyond, actually all the celebrities, as you get on board, all of your carry-on stuff you can take straight to your room while they're busy making up it for you, and you can drop your stuff off and get out of your room. So the first impression of the Celebrity Beyond, as you get on board, they had all the Christmas stuff already up and done, and it was decorated. With all the other cruises that we've done in this time of the year, the decorations were sweet, but they were kind of vanilla. They were nice, but not great. They were kind of all over the place. You know when all of a sudden when you go to a place and they just keep on adding for the sake of adding, but they don't know when it should be enough. It was kind of a little bit kitsch with over the top. But the tree was spectacular and was really awesome, and it really did light up the spirit and the mood of the holiday season, but it definitely was a little bit over the top. With that being said, Celebrity Beyond isn't loud, it isn't chaotic, it doesn't try too hard except for the Christmas lights. It's more of an adult cruise with all ages allowed. The fact is, there's actually very little for kids to do on the ship. There's no slides, there's no game room, there's no real kids club. On our cruise, there were about 150, maybe 200 kids. We kept asking ourselves, why would you want to be on this ship if the other kid-friendly ships will keep your kids better entertained while you pay the same money? Yet we could not figure it out. The ship flows well. You never feel boxed in or overwhelmed. Even on a holiday sailing, it never felt overly crowded, although it was fully sold out. Every space feels intentional. The Grand Plaza becomes the heart of the ship, alive with music and conversation. The Martini Bar, this is really, really cool. You have to check this out. Bartenders performing flare shows on a frozen bar. The stateroom feels like more of a boutique hotel at sea than a cruise ship. The beds are incredibly comfortable. Smart storage. Really well designed and incredibly quiet. We booked the concierge class, which is the same size as the standard veranda room. The concierge class stateroom includes some additional services and amenities, from an exclusive lunch on the first day on embarkation, French sparkling wine. They don't call it champagne on the bottle, it actually said French sparkling wine. Maybe it didn't come from champagne, but anyway. Destination seminars and daily treats delivered to your room. Not convinced it was actually worth the money. The one huge plus for what it is worth, the floor that we booked on was one floor directly under the buffet, between the buffet and the pool, and it was really quiet with an overhang of the covering on the top, so our room never got any direct sun, which was really fantastic. So there is a benefit for the location because it's the 3 floors beneath the buffet. So let me get into a tip on the bedroom. Right, under your bed there is enough space to keep your suitcases. Actually, all cruise ship beds are raised slightly, so all of your suitcases can slide under the bed, so you don't lose too much space in your room. If you do not know about this, it is truly brilliant, because it's just brilliant. The rooftop garden is an open-air retreat with live plants, comfy seating, pools. We call them the hippo pool, as people that float around look like hippos, especially with the perspex. You got to be there to see it, but it really does look like hippos in a non-disrespectful way. The live music is pretty cool. It functions as a unique, stylish urban oasis at the top of the ship. The live greenery, yes, all of the plants are real. It is absolutely awesome. As we pulled away from the port of Miami, the pool deck was the place to be. Not because it was loud or crowded, but because of how relaxed it felt. The main pool area is wide and open, framed by clean lines, glass, and light-colored decking that reflects the Florida sun. Sailing out of Miami is one of the most iconic sailorways. The buildings, the environment, the beachfront, it's just all amazing, purely breathtaking, and a bucket list for us. And for that, we could not stop thinking about the countdown, which lasted months and days and hours, and we just could not stop talking about this moment. And I can say one thing, it absolutely did not disappoint. It wasn't high energy sailaway like all the other boats that we've been on. The sailaway has been loud music, people dancing, just a whole big celebration. Over here it was low tone, low key, everything about the surrounding beauty. And let me say one thing, this did not disappoint. We got to sail into the vacation instead of being thrown into the vacation. The buffet is called the Oceanview Café, and it opens from 6:30 in the morning and closes at 1 a.m. When you first step into the Oceanview Café, a washi station is set up, and someone asks if you would like to use hand sanitizer. Then what hits you isn't just the space, it's the sheer variety. The quality overall was solid, not fine dining impressive, but good for casual meals. Some dishes stood out. The fresh baked pastries were genuinely flaky and flavorful. and the fruit selection was fresh. The other items like the sausages or specific cold entrees felt more ordinary, like what you'd expect from a well-run cafeteria. Lunch and dinner at the Oceanview Café follow the same pattern, variety over speciality. There's something for almost every taste, from soups and fresh salads to carved meats, pasta and regional offerings, depending on the day. But it didn't lean into bold or unique flavors. Instead, it plays to a broad appeal, which works well when you're cruising with a mix of ages and preferences. Best parts: variety of choice, from light options to more filling meals. Presentation feels cleaner and more intentional than typical ship buffets. The less impressive stuff: some dishes are palatable rather than memorable. If you're expecting bold flavors or specialty cuisine, then you likely need to go somewhere else on board. One small practical observation: peak meal times can get busy, and while the space feels roomy, you might find yourself waiting for a good seat. There are also 4 main complimentary restaurants on the Celebrity Beyond, which are called Cosmopolitan, Cyprus, Normandy, and Tuscan, each offering a distinct theme: American, Greek, French, Italian, but generally serving similar menus with 1 or 2 speciality items per restaurant. Seth is obsessed with the steel pan drums, and he got talking with one of the musicians that plays at the Sunset Bar, who showed him how it works and guided him into his first hit. Here it goes.
Advanced so I don't forget, like, it's no pressure, right? Yeah. Oh, just you see it from the air. You can do this. Let's go, man. Let's go. One. Then 3 times.
The main theatre itself is ultra-modern and very comfortable, with tiered seating, good sightlines, quality lighting and sound. When you walk in, it feels polished and well thought out. The theatre productions on Celebrity Beyond are a central part of the evening entertainment, and they can lean towards more theatrical, artistic experiences rather than loud Vegas-style showmanship. There are 2 shows per evening, one at 7 p.m., the other at 9 p.m. Performance: well, it's typical cruise ship performance. They're thoughtful staging. Shows are around 45 minutes each. Check the daily schedule, arrive early, probably 10 to 15 minutes before the show starts to get a good seat. Overall, Celebrity Beyond's theatre productions are pretty polished, artistic and enjoyable. They're not the biggest highlight of the cruise, but they're constantly good and worth experiencing at least once, especially on sea days or evenings when you want something entertaining but relaxing. With that being said, Royal Caribbean is still the gold standard when it comes to entertaining and performing and the arts. So looking back on this Thanksgiving cruise on Celebrity Beyond, what really stands out isn't one single moment. It's the overall rhythm of the week. This wasn't a cruise that tried to overwhelm you with non-stop noise or constant activity. It was a cruise that let you slow down, from sailing out of Miami to quiet mornings in the Oceanview Café to evenings in the theatre. The ship constantly leaned into comfort, space, and calm. That said, it wasn't perfect. Some meals were better than others. A few service moments felt rushed. The pool area could get busy at the wrong times, and if you're someone that wants high-energy entertainment every night, this ship might feel a little too reserved. But that's also the point. Celebrity Beyond knows what it is and what it isn't. If you enjoy modern design, a relaxed atmosphere, and the freedom to choose how busy or quiet your day is, this ship delivers. It gives you everything that you want, when you want it, and it just works spectacularly. If you've already booked the ship, don't stress. Learn the layout early. Use check-in to your advantage and let the cruise unfold at its own pace. And if you're deciding whether the ship is right for you, I hope this video gives you an honest picture, not just the highlights but the reality. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, feel free to like, subscribe and share with someone planning their first cruise with Celebrity Beyond. And with that, we'll catch you on the next one.